President Trump is turning up the pressure on the Pentagon and America's biggest defense contractors. Take a look at shares of defense stocks. Currently, one of the top leaders on the day. You're up anywhere from 2 to 4 to, well, maybe even 15%. This is after the president called for defense contractors to stop prioritizing stock buybacks and dividends and start producing weapons faster. This is all as Trump laid out his vision of America's dream military. And he's calling for more U.S. defense spending to make that dream a reality, targeting $1.5 trillion by 2027. Fox News national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin has all the details. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Taylor. The president has been bolstered by a series of successful military operations in the past year that all relied on costly munitions. Now he's announcing an historic increase in defense spending, $1.5 trillion by next year, a 50% increase from this year's Pentagon budget, pushing U.S. defense spending to 5% of GDP, matching the target he demanded of NATO allies last year. The president then targeted U.S. defense contractors, whom the president accused of fleecing the American taxpayer and cheating the warfighter. Quote, no executive should be allowed to make in excess of $5 million, which, as high as it sounds, is a mere fraction of what they are making now. Effective immediately, they are not permitted in any way, shape, or form to pay dividends or buy back stock until such time as they are able to produce a superior product or on time and on budget. The president singled out Raytheon, which makes the Tomahawk and Sidewinder missiles. In fact, Raytheon has not yet responded. Navy Secretary John Phelan told Bret Baier accountability has not been demanded until now.
Our big defense companies are not performing. We are behind schedule. We're over budget. There's no accountability. And I'm supportive of what the president's trying to do, which is to get them to invest and put money back into the defense sector, which has allowed them to become as big as they are.
Under Ronald Reagan's defense buildup during the Cold War, the U.S. spent nearly 6% of GDP on defense.
We're all wanting to have the best defense we can have in the world, but, we've also got to be fiscally prudent.
The Congressional Budget Office says a $1.5 trillion budget would add $5.8 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years. President Trump has argued his tariffs would cover the increase, but the CBO says this proposed military spending would be twice the expected tariff revenue. And all of this assumes, Taylor, the Supreme Court does not stymie the president's tariff plans, declare the tariffs illegal, which would complicate the president's plans to expand the Pentagon's budget without ballooning the deficit. None of this takes into account the government's role in delayed production by defense contractors. Much of it has to do with continuing resolutions and a chaotic budgeting process on Capitol Hill. Taylor?
We can say chaotic, to say the least. Jennifer Griffin.